I heard you mention earlier, and I got to pick your brain on this because I know this is the burning question of a lot of parents at home, no matter what the age of their children. Sleep hygiene. It's become sort of a medical buzz term for a really good reason. I heard you say cool, dark. Let's open that up a little bit more, especially in context of the first few years. How does this nursery need to look and feel?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Now, when it comes, first of all, even the sleep hygiene, it's definitely a buzz term. And it's essentially healthy sleep practices that can optimize sleep quality. And again, you could start from the newborn period to establish healthy sleep habits. So from the environment is a big one. That cool temperature, usually recommendations are anywhere from about 65 to about 72 degrees. Again, depending on what's going on within the household, right? Some children need it a little bit warmer. Some children need it a bit cooler. The goal is that bedroom environment needs to be cooler than the rest of the house. So whatever that looks like. The noise factor is huge because fluctuations in the intensity of noise, traffic going, dishwasher running, people yelling downstairs will cause inflections and will contribute to arousals in a child's sleep. So using like a white noise machine or something that just masks or creates almost like a noise bubble for that.
And that's
during
not
that
detrimental
period.
to their ears in any way.
No, I would say as long as you're keeping it, usually we'll say less than 50 decibels. So this is really important. So nothing too loud and intense, just enough to block, to mask whatever external sounds are coming up. And then another thing is we talked about light, the room needs to be dark. Now, when we have a room where you have the night light going, you have, maybe there's an air purifier or things, even those little blue sources, those sources of light can be disruptive to a child's sleep. And the reason why I bring that up is many times as children as they get older, within even that first year, parents may say, well, my child is waking up more at 4 a.m. Why are they waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.? The thing is that we're cycling through sleep. And so when you get towards the latter end of the night, sometimes the stage of sleep you're in, it's usually you get more REM sleep around then as you get older. And during that stage, it's actually pretty active sleep. So external factors seem to play a role. And so that's one of the first things I tell families is, do you have blackout curtains? Is there light creeping in from the sides of their door? Those kind of things are really important. So those are just some basic ones you want to start with. And of course, the bed needs to be, comfortable. We usually will recommend the AAP recommendations on healthy sleep environment. So that's the ABCs. A child needs to sleep alone, that's A, on their backs, that's the B part, in their crib or bassinet, right? And free of drugs, so smoking and things like that. What that does is it promotes healthy sleep and also decreases the risk of SIDS, sudden infant death.
I was just about to ask you about that. Were you going to do the same? Just because I know it's the burning question. Within your scope and ability to sort of get into that a little bit, what's the best way to sort of be proactive in? First of all, what is SIDS, and is there anything parents can do to hopefully, prevent that outcome? Yeah.
SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome, and some people will say sudden unexpected infant death syndrome. This is a very fatal phenomenon, really sad. Probably in the 70s, there was a higher prevalence of it. With a lot of the initiatives, the Back to Sleep campaign, it has dropped the rate astronomically. And this is why we continue to emphasize that children should sleep again alone, because co-sleeping, this is where the co-sleeping issue comes up a lot, is you have a mom who just had a baby. She's exhausted. She's sleep deprived. She has so many hormonal changes. She's probably still working on some of the, the baby weight and all of that. So remember what you said. Being sleep deprived by 17 hours is close to the tipping point for being legally drunk by the time you're at 17. And now you have a very small infant with no neck control laying next to you and you fall asleep. That is a recipe for disaster. And so this is something that I just stand by no matter what, within the first few months of life. It is so critical. And sleeping on their backs. Why? Because they do not have neck control. Developmentally, if they were to have their faces shift into the bed, they cannot move it. They don't. They have a lower arousability. And so that is also something that we push for. And then sleeping in a crib or bassinet. And the crib should be firm, free of any beddings and all the stuffed animals and the blankets and things like that. Again, to reduce the risk of suffocation. As a physician, I have seen one and being involved in, you just need that one to say it is not even worth it. And so bassinet is fine, a crib is fine, and really following those guidelines. Other things like drug use, there's been a higher risk of SIDS with tobacco smoking and things. So you really want to minimize any exposure to tobacco. There's some newborns who are more at risk. Prematurity is a risk factor as well. So really just adhering to ensuring they get, their vaccines, ensuring that, people around them, taking care of them, get their vaccines and things like that are also some preventive strategies.
Very
Amazing.
good. Very good.